different some we can say some terminologies of Six Sigma that we use. And we also learned that Six Sigma is a systematic methodology of problem solving, and it has been deployed across many organizations over the last 2 decades. So today we'll start the actual segment, or actual we can say the phase of Six Sigma, and a defined phase. That is the first phase of Six Sigma, or the first step in Six Sigma methodology, defined phase. So the definition of the defined phase, you'll come to know that you define the problem here. So we'll learn about the concept of defined phase, then how the project charter is prepared, and how process mapping is done. So these are the 3 steps generally following the defined phase. So we will cover these 3 steps in detail today. So in defined phase, we first identify the CTQ. What is CTQ? It is critical to quality. CTQ, critical to quality, is what my customer want from me. The quality is a generic concept. The quality can be in terms of product, and product quality, service quality, or both. That is product plus service. So anything that you provide to customer is got a and the customer pays for is the quality. The CTQ of your project or CTQ of your business is important because it defines what my customer wants. It defines what I must deliver. The second step in defined phase is team charter. That is, when I take a project that I will improve this thing from this thing, then I have to define the team who will support me, who will who will help me in analysis, who will help me in deploying the problem, who will help me in deploying solution. Yeah.
So sorry to disturb you. So we are on the first slide itself.
Is the first slide number 3 only?
नहीं sir, move नहीं किया.
Huh? Yeah.
Move नहीं किया, slide move नहीं किया. We are on the first slide itself.
Slide move नहीं हुआ? Wait.
No sir.
Wait, huh? Some network issue. Are you able to see now?
Yes sir.
The slide is defined steps.
Yes,
okay.
Yes sir, define steps.
Okay. So the step 1 we defined, identify CTQ, that is project CTQ, or what is critical to quality. Critical to quality, quality can be a product quality or a service quality, or both. Like for example, when we take a product from market, we take a TV. Television, we are improving, see the colors, how the colors are visible, how the channel is reading, what the size of the TV, sharpness is there or not, how is the air, how is the sound quality. That is the CTQ for the customer. The service will be if the TV gets some damage or some thing is not properly working, then service engineer comes to us and repairs the TV. That is service quality. So a CTQ can be a quality of a product or quality of a service or both. What is important to my customer is important. We must know what the customer wants from me in this product. Second is develop a team charter. So once we have a CTQ, that is a project, or the CTQ is called a project now. So we are going to improve the product quality from this to this, improve the sales margin from this to this. We want to reduce the cost of my product from this to this. That is all the CTQs. So somebody will help you in doing the project. It's called a team. So we have to develop a team charter or a project charter where you formulate the team, you define your problem, and also what you're going to do. When we come to this charter, I will explain the terms there, and we'll also see one example. The third thing is process map. We have a call it CTQ, or we have a project name. We have a charter, then we must have a map. What is the process currently doing? How is the process currently working? What are the steps in the process? That we must know, because if we don't know, what will improve? We must know how is the process working now, what are the steps in the process. Then we can find out in the meeting with the team what is going wrong or what needs to be improved. So we must have a define as is process. So it is called define a process map. So these are three steps in define phase. Identify the project CTQ, that is identify the project, develop team charter or project charter, and define the process map. Now we have moved. Can you able to see this next slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, good. What is the most important thing is define the problem in terms of what is wrong. You must have seen this movie Hera Fairy. पर ऐसा होता है, अरे कहना क्या चाहते हो? So we must be able to know what is wrong. In many cases, the person taking the project, if he is not able to define the problem correctly, will not able to solve what is actually called the customer. The customer will be speaking his own language. He is not going to tell you what is wrong in your product. He is going to tell you what is wrong at his end. For example, if we have a product which is used in making of a cloth, so we are selling, let us say, yarn or polyester, what we called threads, and dhaga is called dhaga. You are selling the thread to a yarn to the customer who is producing a cloth, and he is having issues in producing the cloth from our yarn. So he is not going to tell you that your yarn is having problem. He will tell you, "मेरा cloth बराबर नहीं होता है. I am not able to view the cloth properly. I am not able to dye the cloth properly. Dyeing नहीं होता है. The color is fading down. The color is not giving good results. The cloth is being worn and tore while we are viewing it." That is his problem. So he is going to tell his problems. Then we have to think from our perspective, what is the quality of or what is the parameter in the yarn is affecting these problems at customer end. So that is we call define the problem. Customer is not going to tell you what is problem in your product. He is going to tell you what he is suffering. When we have a washing machine, let us take example washing machine. The washing machine at home, and the clothes are not drying properly, or we have some issue where the clothes are not getting, we can say, rinsed or cleaned properly. You tell the person on phone कि अरे washing machine चलता नहीं है. We are not going to tell him कि timer problem है. You are not going to tell him कि there is a problem in the motor. Nothing. We are going to tell चलता नहीं machine तो आके देखो. When the person comes at home, he will ask you 20 questions, 50 questions. क्या होता है? कहाँ होता है? Then the person tries to understand a problem, and then he pinpoints a problem to the particular part of the machine or some equipment in the machine which is not working, and then he clears it. That is called defining a problem. If you are going to a doctor will ask you 20 questions. आप बोलेंगे बुखार है or fever. How much is the fever? Fever, have you got cough? Have you got cold? Then are you shivering? All these things he will ask you, and then appropriately he will give you medicine. So that is defining a problem. So in a defined phase, defining a problem is very important. What is wrong is to define properly. The customer is not going to tell you in your words what is wrong. He will use his words or his language to tell you what is wrong. That is called defining a problem. Then who is the customer? Is the recipient of the product or service. So Six Sigma is an attempt to improve effectiveness and efficiency. Please keep very close eye on these two topics: effective and efficiency. What is effectiveness? How much, the degree to which you meet the customer needs. And efficiency is the amount of resources consumed in achieving the effectiveness. So the customer is the customer wants effectiveness. When you go to let us take a simple example of a Xerox machine or photocopying machine. We all take photocopies always. So I go to a photocopying machine or photocopying shop in my neighborhood and ask him to give a copy of my mark sheet. Let us say a third year mark sheet which is to be submitted to the college. He takes a copy of the machine, a copy in the machine, and the copy gets cut from one end or one of the column missing. So I tell him, "अरे ये बराबर नहीं आया. I don't want this copy. You give me new copy. This is not proper." So he again goes to the machine, takes another copy. Then the copy is light, or you can say not visible properly. So, "अरे ये क्या है? What is this? I want a proper copy." So he again goes to the machine and takes a third copy, and the third copy comes perfectly as I want. I pay 1 rupee for the copy which I got, and I go home. That 2 copies which I have rejected, he throws in the dustbin. So what I'm a customer. So what I look at, effectiveness of what I want. I want a proper copy of my mark sheet with everything visible and which I can read. So that is effectiveness that customer needs. Now, think the other on the other side of the story. The person in the shop is a employee of the owner. The owner comes out and sees that person has wasted 2 papers for giving a single copy. So he looking at the efficiency, resources being consumed. He will say that यार तुमने दो copy फालतू निकाला, paper is wasted. Then that we have electricity खराब हो गया, toner जो भी है वो खराब हो गया, and time waste हो गया. So he has put more resources and giving to give the effect to the customer. So the internal customer or the owner or the, we can say, manager of the organization will look for the efficiency on how much using the less resources, and by using optimizing resources you give the best product. That is called efficiency. And the customer or the customer from the outside of the organization will look at effectiveness. I want the product perfect and right, first time right. I don't know what you are doing. He is not interested in what you are doing to achieve the effectiveness. Clearly, he will say you put 5 rupees, you put 10 rupees, you employ 10 people, you employ 1 people. It is not his job. That is not his requirement. He will say, I want what product I got is perfect, so I'm happy. So the external customer, that is the customer outside your process, is improving, is interested in the effectiveness of the product that I get. And the person inside the organization or the organization owner or manager or some top management is interested in the efficiency of the product of the service. So Six Sigma deals with improving both effectiveness also, efficiency also. How? Six Sigma will try to optimize use of resources to get the desired effectiveness. That is what Six Sigma does. So it is effective because Six Sigma is helping the efficiency or improving efficiency. He is helping the organization to reduce its cost, to reduce its time, reduce its efforts, and also helping the customer to get a good product. So effectiveness and efficiency are 2 terms which are very important in Six Sigma. And what is adaptability? Doing the change effectively, efficiently. Matlab, you are for doing improving efficiency, for improving effectiveness, you have to change something, change the process step, improve your some cycle time, or change some steps, or change the process you are doing. For that 2 things, you have to adapt to the change. So adaptability is the key word for improving the efficiency and effectiveness in the process. Next slide. Visible, who is customer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think it was clear. Effectiveness, efficiency is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So customer can be internal or external. External customer, you all know, whoever gets the product. We are also customers for various products in the market. We go to restaurants and have snacks, lunch. We are customers for a restaurant. We go to a shop to buy mobile, TV, laptops. We are customers. And so anyone external to the organization or external to the process and receiving the product or service is the customer. We can be clients, end customers, regulators, that is government, and brokers. For internal product or service, the customers can be internal. Like one process will be customer for the other. If I am making something X and that X is used by my different second department to make Y, then the Y is my customer. Okay. So leadership, I told the top management is the customer for all the working people, that we have to improve efficiency. They always will talk about productivity, efficiency in the organization. What is that? They are customers to the event. Stakeholders, people investing in the organization are customers. They want the organization to make profit so that they get good benefits from the profit. So the customers can be internal or external. Six Sigma doesn't say that the customers don't serve the internal customer. ऐसा नहीं है. We take any customer which has a problem in our product has to be solved. So Six Sigma deals with both the customers, internal as well as external. So why it is important to understand voice of customer? That I told. कि customer जो बोल रहा है, what is the customer saying and what is it that we must improve in our process? The link is very important. The customer is not going to tell you कि your process, let us take an example, simple thing, your process parameter is wrong. He will not tell you what he wants, he doesn't want it. He is not his job. He will always tell you, I am getting this problem while I use your product. Now you find out what is the process or what is the parameter or what the specifications in your product has been changed or not, or has to be altered to serve the purpose. So cinema example, we are going to cinema. What are we? We are customers. So what we do? Review देखते हैं, ये पिक्चर आ रही है उसका रिव्यू देखते हैं. How is the review? How is Times of India? We can see or go to the net and see what is the review. Is 3 star है, 4 star है, 2 star है, जो भी है. And we have the star cast. Picture में कौन है? If I'm my favorite actor is some X, so I must see X का picture है क्या, then I will go. Subject क्या है? I mean also see the subject or we can see trailer. Picture comedy है, family drama है, जो भी है. Director कौन है? So we are the customers. So we will go through these 5, 3, 6 things to see what the movie is. Then we also asked our colleagues, तुमने देखा क्या picture? तुमने देखा कैसा है? कैसा है? We'll take reviews from our friends or colleagues, and then we watch the movie. The producer of the movie hall or the multiplex, what is interested in? He is the owner. Occupancy. He wants that the hall is occupied 100%. Any safety incident will not happen because safety of the customer is important. Then he must have plans available. Operating cost क्या है, उसका cost कैसे कम रहेगा, and equipment of the status. Operation का जो status है, मतलब जो क्या आपका जो screen, then आपके chair, sofa, जो भी है, other amenities are available in the for the customer. So customer is, if you see, both are different. The producer is thinking in other way, the customer is thinking in other way. But for effectiveness of the customer to improve, the product, the owner or the producer of the film must satisfy the requirements. So how to make them together? There is you can see here, there is customer requirements are on the left side and the owner requirement on the right side. They are both very different. We can't relate any requirement anywhere. You cannot say review ratings. Can you link them? No. Then we have got a tool that is called how to convert voice of customer into CTQ. The tool is called quality function deployment. And that quality function deployment is a tool where you can relate one or two things here and there to find out what will improve my occupancy. Owner का first requirement क्या है? Occupancy बढ़ना चाहिए. Customer requirement is review अच्छे चाहिए, stock अच्छे चाहिए, director वो चाहिए. So what the owner will have to do, he has to improve the review ratings, and he has to give some freebies. You can provide some entertainment free of cost to people, where people come to the theater to watch the movie. So this is the quality function deployment tree, wherein what is customer and how is the producer or our internal customer or the process owner. Then we have to match the what to the how to find out how we can meet the requirement of the customer. That is called quality function deployment. So next, once you got a CTQ, let us take an example that there is IICHE movie ka. You got a CTQ where you got tell that the movie occupancy is less in my cinema hall and I want to improve it. So then you have to prepare a charter. CTQ is a critical to quality. What is the customer want or what I must be the customer is CTQ. So critical to quality. The project charter will clarify what is expected from the team. Say what is the project in simple. Keep the team focused because the charter will define the timelines. The charter will define who is going to do what. The charter will define what you want to achieve, where we are, where we want to go. All these things will be defined in charter. So charter keeps the team focused and aligned to the priorities. Transfers the project from champion to implement team. Champion is the process owner or the sponsor of the project. So the project champion gives the project to you. The owner will give the project or the organization head will give the project. I want to improve my electricity. I want to reduce the electricity consumption for my organization with the project. It will not be done by the organization owner. It has to be done by the people working under him. So he gives the project. My electricity bill for last 3 months is 1,000 rupees per month. I want to reduce it because I think it is unduly high. Please find out ways of reducing the electricity bill, still keeping the requirements as is. That is the project that is given by the owner to the champion, to the team. And then we are team, we are electrical engineer in the team, we will have some process owner, we'll have some people, technicians, all that, all these people will form a team. The project charter is actually a document which says or binds the team to the project. It gives clear ideas what you are, where you are now, where you want to go, in which time you will go there, who will help you, all this things in the project charter. I am on slide 14, 6 elements of charter. Visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So a project charter, we'll see the example, but we'll just go through the 6 elements of charter. One is the business case, that is why or the project is to be done. Then second is problem or goal statement, stating that where we are is the problem. Problem is now, where we are. So we have to define clearly what is the problem. Benefits from the project, that is what we are going to achieve and what will be the benefits. If we achieve the product quality or we achieve or reduce the cost of my product from rupees 200 per unit to 196 per unit, so what is going to benefit? So how much units we are selling in 1 year, the reduced cost will improve the margin by how much rupees, and what will be the benefit for me over a period of time. That is called the benefit from the project. The project scope. Scope is very important. What I am going to study in the project, what I am going to involve in the project. Are we going to involve sales, marketing, or only process, or only marketing? Whatever you are going to do, you have to define the scope. In the fifth is roles. Who is going to do what role? There will be different roles in the project charter. When we see charter, next slide, I will explain you the roles. The third is milestone. That is, we saw in the Six Sigma introduction, there are 5 steps of Six Sigma: define, measure, analyze, improve, control. So in milestones, we say or we give an estimate that when we are going to complete the which phase. Define phase will be completed by this date, measure by this date, analyze by this date, improve by this date, and control at the end of the project by this date. So that is called the timelines or milestones. So this is a project charter. Reduce electricity consumption is the project given by a head or a champion. So we can say here, business case is explain why you need to do the project. So electricity bill paid is one of the main expense done during every month. Reduction in the electricity consumption will directly save money. Clear cut. That I am having electricity bill of 2,000 rupees per month, which I think is quite high. So I urge my team members, I'm doing a project at home. So I urge my family members, children to help me in saving by reducing the electricity bill. How the bill reduce will save in the cost or save in my monthly expenses. The problem statement will be, what is the unit of measure? So problem will have numbers. In business case, there will be no numbers. Business case will have only words or English stating that why are doing the project. But in problem statement, we have to give numbers. That is the metric. Always we defined, also I discussed it in the last session, that Six Sigma runs on numbers. You cannot say I will improve my health, I will reduce my cost, but you have to say by how much. So it has to be numbers driven so that we can measure it and we can see the improvement being done. So it is called in product, you have to say how will the number of units used for the period of from January to April, 3 months, are average of 45 and 100 since 12. The goal is to reduce to 40 units by next 6 months. So he is telling clearly 45 units are consumed every month. It is the average for last 3 months. I want to consume less than 40 units I want to improve in next 6 months. So in 6 months, I will see that my problems is solved and other electricity will reduce. Now, while taking the unit of measurement, it is very, very important to be very specific. For example, in this project, if I say I will reduce my electricity bill from 2,000 rupees to 1,500 rupees, saving of 500 rupees per month, what will happen? Say from next month, the electricity board increase the charges of the per unit from 2 rupees to 8 rupees. So even if I reduce my electricity bill, even if I reduce my units, the electricity bill will not come down. So we have to all very careful while deriving the metric. Because if you choose a wrong metric, which is not in your hand, then your project will fail. In this case only, if you see, if I am saying that I will reduce the monthly bill from 2,000 rupees to 1,500 rupees, and from next month, my units come down from 50 to 40. But the electricity board says now you have to pay 10 rupees per unit instead of 5. So again, the bill goes up to 2,000. So the project is lost, or it is actual improvement is not seen. So we have to be very specific while taking the problem statement measurement. Don't go on number which is not in your control. So very important to take the unit of measure here properly. In the goal statement, you write what are you going to achieve. That it will be reduced to 40 units per day by December 09, he is saying here. So we have to say what are you going to achieve and by when we are going to achieve. So we have to give the number, the target of your CTQ and also timeline of the CTQ. So it is a timeline driven project. It cannot say I will achieve 40 units per month or per day by hai nahi. So it is a never ending story. ऐसा नहीं होता है. We have to bound by the project by the timelines. The most important thing is do not write how it will be done, because we don't know. At this stage of the project, in defined phase, even if you are working in the same process, do not predict what you are going to do. There are two pitfalls here. If you predict what you are going to do and you don't do the same thing, then management will say, "आपने तो बोला था ऐसा करेंगे, ऐसा कुछ किया नहीं आपने. Why didn't you do this way?" And the second thing is, you will not explore other possibilities if you predict what you are going to do. Okay. So in a simple example, I'll tell you, I want to run a marathon or run a sprint for 1 kilometer. I will say I will practice for 3 months and then join the I will run that marathon or the sprint. But I am not able to practice, and there is rainy season is there, so I am not able to go outside the home and practice. So I practice at home only. I do some other ways of reducing my weight so I can run for more time. Then what you are written here are not that you are doing. So please do not write anything else in this chapter. Only write what is the problem and only write what is the goal with timeline. Then the third part is financial benefit. So by doing this, reducing the electricity consumption by 40 from 40 to 40, I am saving 500 of consumption. Then how much is the cost that is going to be reduced? So here you have to give very clear basis of how the cost is calculated, because the cost is not in your hands. So you always write the basis here, that the cost is calculated as per the rates of the electricity board as on July 22. So the same rates will be taken while you calculate the benefit at the end of the project. Because if you don't write the basis here, and जैसे मैंने बोला starting में, if the board increases the cost or the rate of the unit, then your project will not be effective, or it will not be seen in the financial benefits. So you have to be very clear when you write the basis that as on July 22, the rate per unit by the electricity board is 10 rupees. So by using the same rate, will give the benefit of this rupees in next 3 months or in next 1 year. So that is your project financial benefit. The third thing is project scope. If you go on the right side of the slide, project scope. Project starts with. Now you have to be very specific. Now it is a very sorry. It's a very simple project. So you will have a simple process. Process starts with your meter, because the meter reading is final. Ends with when you consume the bill. So anything between when the electricity passes from a meter and gets consumed at your house, anything coming in between all this your process. Any equipment or any instrument which is working on these lines is your process. So you have to take care of that things. आपके घर में रेफ्रिजरेटर होगा, ओवन होगा, वाटर हीटर होगा, एसी होगा, टीवी होगा, all these things. जैसे उसने लिखा है, in scope are all equipment and days, all days. Out scope is festival days. Because of festival day like Diwali hai, yeah, you have got some festival at your home, then lots of guests or relatives will be coming, so you will be consuming more electricity in these days. Agar if you are staying in Mumbai, let us say, and your relatives are coming on a month of May, so it is the climate is hot and humid, and you have got 2-3 ACs at home, so you will be running all the 3 ACs. Or you have Diwali hai, so you will be lighting your home, you will be consuming more power during that days. So that days can be excluded. So all other days are included. So that is called what is scope and what is out of scope. Secondary constraint is now secondary constraints or secondary CTQ. This is very critical or vital, because by improving one, you have to take care that you are not deteriorating the other thing. For example, in this case, by reducing the electricity bill, your medical bill goes up. For example, you come up with a process that will not be using ACs during summer. That is what the remedy is. You save the electric consumption. But by doing this, somebody gets a heat stroke, somebody having a problem due to more heat, and he has to go to doctor and get some medicine. That is not allowed. Then what's the use of saving the money here? You are spending somewhere else. Similarly, in your business, if you are taking a project of improving your quality of the product, okay, what you are saying that I will improve the quality of a product, but that time the constraint will be you cannot reduce the throughput or you can't reduce the tonnage of product that I produce daily. मैं बोलूंगा कि मैं ना धीरे-धीरे प्रोड्यूस करूंगा तो मेरा क्वालिटी अच्छा आएगा, तो क्या फायदा है? धीरे प्रोड्यूस करके आपका दिन का प्रोडक्शन ही कम हो गया तो क्वालिटी इंप्रूव करके यू आर गोइंग टू लूज इन प्रोडक्शन. So secondary CTQ is that what should not get affected while you do this project. A very important concept in Six Sigma. When we do other tools are used for improving the process, they don't use this term secondary CTQ. So this is unique for Six Sigma. So what it says it, what you should not do or should not get deteriorated while improving the CTQ. This is to be monitored when you do the project. Like मैंने बोला कि if you are improving the quality of the product, you have to monitor that production doesn't go down. Production remains at a constant level. ये project में उसने बोला है laundry bill and medical bill should not go down. Should not increase. Laundry bill, ऐसे if you are doing ironing of your clothes at home, आप बोलेंगे अभी आज से ironing बंद, सब laundry में डाल दो. So you are reducing the consumption of the units here, but you are increasing the laundry bill. So what is the use? You are spending on X or Y, but you cannot. Then there is no. The project is not initiation. It is not the way you should do it. Then next is process impacted. What is the process that is going to impact? So you can say electricity consumption process. Business wise, that is what the organization wants from this process is cost reduction. Generally, in the big organizations, the business why, or you can say the business wants is cost reduction, improve quality, improve cycle time, improve production, improve yield. All these are the big business why that are impacted. So your project must always link to one of these business objectives. Then we have green belt, black belt, champion, and team members. So green belt will be the person doing the project. Let us say Mr. X is doing the project. Black belt will be the person who is guiding to the project. We saw these three things in the first session: green belt, black belt, and champion or the owner who is the department head or the head of the organization, and team members. So when you are doing a project in the organization, the team members coming from finance, from technology, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering. So you have to remember from all the different functions that are in your organization. So they help in the project to be done. Data collect करने का है आपको project में, process लिखने का है, improvements करने का है. So these team members will be your support roles to do all this. You cannot do everything as a project owner. Green belt is the project owner or project head. You cannot do everything because you have to do analysis. Then you have to satisfy your talk with champions, to talk with team members, get the project done. So that is the role of the project leader. A team members is the person who will help you in getting the project done. Project timeline, customer wanted. Customer को कब चाहिए? Sometimes some projects are very critical to customer. Now we want it next 1 month, so we have to do it fast track. Some projects are not that critical, so they ना 1-2 महीने में चलेगा. So generally we define that the project is completed in around 3 to 4 months. Project of green belt is a project that is completed in 3 to 4 months. So you have to define the project timelines that or milestones in the charter here. So you can define planned ended 1 week. So you can write a date here, say 25th July तक हो जाएगा. And when you actually your define is completed, it is a sign off is done by the champion, and then you put the actual date here. Similarly, major phase almost 1 week. Analyze will take time because you have to analyze the process, find out the root causes, find out different causes available, which are the root cause, which are the main causes that are driving the project. So it will take 6 to 8 weeks. Improve around 1 month, so 3 to 4 weeks, because when you are find the root cause, then you improve the solution. Solution improvement in the improve phase. So once you put in the solution, then you have to wait for 1 month to see that satisfy yourself and the team that whatever you have done is correct. So it takes around 1 month. And control is 1 month because once the solution is implemented and you are satisfied with the result, then you hand over the project to the champion again. Say that अभी मेरा काम हो गया है, ये 3-4 स्टेप आपको करने का है, तो आपका प्रोजेक्ट इंप्रूव होगा. So then you have to give writing the control plan, and then you hand over the project to the owner. You step out of the project and you only monitor from outside for 1 month that they are working or they are doing it as you have suggested, and then the project is closed. So you can say 1 month, 2 months, so around 4 months, and you can say 2 weeks. So around 4 to 5 months is generally a timeline where the project needs to be completed. So let's move. Clear? Any doubt on this?
No, sir.
Okay. So we can move forward. So project charter, we had 3 steps in define, identify CTQ, project charter, and now process mapping. Process mapping is what is the process that you are working on? How it looks like? What are the steps in the process? What are the activities in the process? Any process. You go to a bank and demand and ask for a demand draft. And I want to pay the fees of my college, and I want to demand draft of 40,000 rupees. So what is the process? You go, you fill a form of demand draft. Nowadays it is now available on internet also. But if you go physically in the bank, what is the process? You go, you fill the form, write the name of the institute you want to pay the money, how much amount, from which account the amount will be taken, or you are going to give cash to the bank. Then what is the charges? All this you fill in, go to the counter, give that slip to the bank, to the person. He checks it, then he countersigns it, says that you deposit the money on counter number 6. Then you go there, then you deposit the money. He gives a counter file. He will tell you come after 1 hour. After 1 hour, you go there, you show the file, he gives you the demand draft, you sign on the document, and you come back. So that is the actual process. But something is documented process. Actual process is what I explained you. Documented, there will be some steps which the bank follows, which we don't know. There will be an documented process. That when the request comes from the customer, what do they do to process the request? So we have to always do the mapping of actual process documented. Documented process is the documented process that is written but down by the organization. And actual is what is practiced by the organization. There is always a difference in documented and actual process. Let us say a simple example if you take. You are preparing a cup of tea. So the documented process will be take utensils, take 1 cup water, put 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of tea, put ginger there or masala, put on the all mix 3 all together, put on the gas. Then once it boils, put strain it by using a strainer, add milk as per requirement, and the tea is ready. That is the documented process. The actual process, what we will do, somebody will put water on the gas first, then put the sugar in that, then put tea in that, then put milk in that, then boil and drink it. That is actual process. So there is a difference between documented process and actual process. So process mapping will find out the difference between documented and actual process. The second thing is VA and NVA, value added versus non-value added. Many steps are there in our process that are non-value added. We are doing these steps. We also don't know why we are doing. So we have to find out that steps. If particularly in a cycle time project, where you are doing a project of reducing the cycle time, let us say that on the other side you are the bank person and you want to reduce cycle time of issuing a demand draft within 40 minutes instead of 1 hour. The regular time taken is 1 hour. You want to issue in 40 minutes demand draft. So you will find out what are the steps that are in my banking procedure and out of which steps are not evaluated. Sometimes a person is taking double entry, or sometimes the person is checking 2 times. Sometimes there are 5 signs to be done where the requirement is 2 only. So that steps can be limited to save time and to improve your efficiency. That is VA versus NVA. Output versus input. So what are the input to the process? What is going inside and what is coming out? That you must know. That is the object to the process map. And we have a process map which is done at very high level, medium level, and macro level. So that is called the mapping. Second is process flow diagram, and third is the detailed input output worksheet. So let us go through one by one. Different levels of process map are business level or helicopter view. Owner of a company. I also discussed this during our first session. The owner of our organization has sites, has manufacturing locations at 3 locations, say Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Delhi. And he is sitting in Mumbai. So he will look at the business overview. How much Hyderabad is earning, how much Bangalore is earning, how much Delhi is earning, what are the problems, or what are the processes that are common at all the 3 places, and what is the big picture. So the business owner looks at the big picture. He doesn't improve. He doesn't go to the minute level and says, "Are process number 3 में क्या improvement हो रहा है?" He is not worried on that. He is worried about the big picture. The second is site level. Say Hyderabad site head or works at Hyderabad. We look at what are the processes under me which I should improve. So that is the second level of mapping. And the third level is that actual process state. That is the owner of a unit. Hyderabad में अगर 4 unit है, so one unit owner will look at his own process. So how detailed he will look. So we can say that this is an increasing detail when we go from a business view to site view to a unit view. So the business details increases. Because at the business level, he only looks at there are 6 plants, 6 units in Hyderabad, 10 in Bangalore, 10 in Delhi. So what are the issues, common issues? Let us solve this. At site unit, the Hyderabad will say, "Are मेरे पास 6 units है, और 6 में कौन सा unit खराब चल रहा है? So let us focus on that unit." Then at the unit level, the person will say, "अरे मेरे unit में 10 activity चल रहा है, so कौन सा activity की वजह से we are losing money or we are losing time?" So I will focus there. So the detail of process mapping increases when we come from business level to operation level. The process mapping is done in 2 ways. It can be SIPOC or COPIS. SIPOC is supplier, input, process, output, customer. And COPIS is reverse, customer, output, process, input, supplier. So when we say customer is the king, so we start our mapping from customer. What the customer wants? He wants a very good tea. So what are the outputs? Output is a tea. What is the process? Process is tea making. What are the inputs? Inputs are sugar, milk, water, tea powder, masala, etc. So that is, we go reverse mapping from customer to supplier. It is called COPIS. Sorry. So here we come to know what are the project boundaries, start point and end point. Start point will arrive from supplier. Supplier of milk, supplier of sugar, supplier of tea. The start point. End point is customer having a tea and giving you or अच्छा चाय था. That is his remark. That is your end point. So whatever comes in between these two is your process. So process map will give you what are the boundaries of the project. Because once all the activities or all the inputs, all the items, all the equipment which are involved from supplier to customer end is your project boundary. Starting point and ending point. Describe where to collect data. So you have to collect data on supplier. Supplier से data लेना पड़ेगा कि sugar quality correct है, milk quality correct है, water का कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं है, all that things. Inputs and process में क्या क्या steps है, where we can improve. So there the process or the process mapping will give you a project boundary and also the steps or the activities where data is required to be collected. The next is process flow diagram. You can see here, concept of a project is defined that there are 7 steps in the project. The ideal project is having 5 steps. And in reality, the project is moving in 25 steps. So that is actually where we have to bridge the gap between the reality and the ideal. Because we know that the project has to be done in 5 steps or the activity has to be done in 5 steps, but actually it is taking more than 10 steps. That is where the process map actually was documented. Documented is the ideal process. Documented process is the ideal process in the way it should work. And reality is what we do in the actual process. Let us say, take an example of again the demand draft. Documented says collect demand draft from collect the request from customer, prepare the check the account, check the all the parameters are correct, prepare demand draft, or give to authorized person. Authorized person has to check whether the amount is correct, amount available in bank balance is correct, the name of the person is matching, signature is matching, name of the issued is properly spelled out. He authorizes demand draft. The demand draft is given to the second person, second authorization, and it is delivered to customer. The 5 steps. In reality, what is happened like this? No. In reality, a person does it and you go, "Arey, aap thoda kar lo na, main busy hu." So we go to second person. He's not a person to prepare demand draft. So he will prepare some demand draft, then ask again come and ask, "Arey, idhar kya likhne ka hai?" Then he will write something. Then yahan entry kya karne ka hai? Then he will do entry. And this way, the number of steps of preparing a demand draft increases. So we have to always see documented process versus reality and try to find out what are the steps that are unnecessarily be done. Unnecessary steps in the process that are increasing the time, increase cycle time, and the customer is not happy with it. So that is what we do in process mapping. Find out what is not required. That is called VA and VA. What is not required and compared to the ideal process. What is to be done ideally and what we are doing. So example we'll take. We'll try to see 2-3 examples of process mapping. So first is you can say preparing a tea. Are you able to see now?
Yes, sir.
Macro level process map is the slide that we are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So you are preparing a tea. So supplier कौन है उसका? Water, that is MIDC, because we are in Maharashtra we say MIDC or some corporation which is providing water. Milk comes from dairy और भैया भी दूध डालता है तो भैया भी होता है. And then we have some person from where shop from where we take sugar, tea powder, all these things. Gas agencies and utensils, and manpower is the person who making the tea. What are the inputs? Water, milk, sugar, tea powder, tea masala, and gas and burner utensils are the equipment used, and manpower is the person who is doing the job. And then we have a process of tea making. Output is a cup of tea and waste. That is the strained powder is waste. And second, customer are served to the guest a tea, and then second is served to the when you put in dustbin the waste. That is the second customer. So you can see here your process starts with the supplier and ends with customer. So all the activities or all the list of the activities that are listed here in input, process, output are your data points. You have to collect data from these 3 sources. Kitna water liya, kitna milk liya, sugar how much added, tea powder kab add kiya, then the gas flame was low or high, utensils proper hai kya, utensils was not what dirty, the tea quality deteriorate, and the person doing the tea does he know that the tea is prepared. This is a simple example, but if you try to relate it to the example in your organization, you will come to know how complex it is. It's not that simple as the map looks here. In organization, we have complex processes. The inputs are different, the processes are different, and lots of steps are there. This is the most simple example to show the cycloc map. So I've taken this example of preparing a tea. Now you go one level down. This is the high level map. Then you go one level down. Process flow diagram. So start, take utensil, pour major quantity of water, put on the gas, add sugar, then add ginger masala. Yes or no? Somebody adds, somebody doesn't add, whatever it is. Boil the mixture, add tea powder, keep boiling for 47 minutes. Filter the mixture in cup, pour hot milk, and serve to customer. So now this is a documented process, okay, or ideal process that is written and is you can say authorized or approved by the owner. You have to do activity by in these steps only. Now, you will when you go to the field in the organization, you carry a process with you and go to the organization field and see actually how they are doing it. If you ever visit a chai tapri in your local neighborhood, actually you can see how they are doing it. In some person will take utensil, he will put water, he will put sugar, he will put ginger masala, he will put tea powder, he will put milk and do boiling. Okay, there will be the tea state taste different. And if you go to second shop, you will take utensil, you will put water, sugar, ginger, tea masala, boil, then add a milk. So there are different ways of doing that tea. So same way, you have to document the process in the organization or in the factory you are working, but there are different ways of doing that job. People over a period of time get experienced, put in their own knowledge, experience in work, and try to do that work in some different way. So we have to analyze and come out with a saying that document process steps are 12, a person doing in 10 steps. So is that 10 steps effective? Is that not violating any violating your any norms or violating any legal requirements that you have to see? And if it is seen that the 12 steps process is now can be done in 10 steps, then you have to change the document. That is a change. What do we say? That if you are doing 12 steps, you are taking 40 minutes to prepare a tea. Now person has come up with the other way of doing a tea, making a tea in 10 minutes. You are saving 4 minutes, saving your you can say gas time, gas utilization will come ho jayega, and also the customer is happy. So then you can change the steps in the document process. So when you are doing a project, you document that process से actual process compare करने का अपने को, find out the ways where you can optimize or improve the actual process. Then once you improve, that is the analyze part. Once you improve the actual process, then you with the actual process, improve actual process, you do the work and see the customer satisfied. Yes, then your product is improved. Then in control phase, you change the documented process from 12 steps to 10 steps and hand it over to the owner, saying that abhi aisa karo to aapka problem solve hota hai and the customer is happy. That is called control phase. So in a simple way, Six Sigma works is you define the actual process that is documented and actual process as is, that is we call. In major phase, find out all the data points of the process. Utensil kab leta hai, how much water is put, how much time he puts on gas, when he adds sugar, what is the time he adds sugar, how much sugar is added, how much masala added, tea powder kitna डालता है, boiling kitna time करता है, when does he add milk. All these are data points, and you collect data from the actual process for last 3 months. Okay, 90 days of data, 90 data points are collected. Then we do analysis on the data point. If you put this more, if you put this less, what will happen? What will happen? All these things we do in the analyze phase and find out what is the root cause. Somebody will say, "Are you are boiling too much? 47 minutes, 2 minutes boiling से ही काम होता है." Then you do the improvement for a short time, say 3 days, 4 days, by doing the new process. That is improve phase. And then give to customer. अरे अच्छा चाय बनाया अभी तुम, पहले बराबर नहीं बनाना था. Then you are happy. The process improved. Then you document the new process. Omit the steps from this process which are not required. And then you hand over to owner saying that अभी आप ये process से चाय बनाओ, तो customer is happy. Then the owner will start using the process by giving to his team members. अभी आपके पास सब team member नहीं होंगे. If you are having an organization where the process working is 40 people are working on the process, you only take team members of 10 and do the improve process. Once you are happy with the improve process, you give to the customers, to the owner, saying that अभी 40-40 लोगों को बनाओ, बताओ ऐसे चाय बनाने का है. And then they do prepare tea for 1 month. You monitor them that they are doing it properly. And once you are happy, that it says that your quality completed. That is the actual Six Sigma approach. Documented process, then you find out actual process, parameter of the process, data analysis, improve your process, run it for some time, satisfactory results, document the new process, hand it to owner. That is the Six Sigma approach in simple words. Now this is a T preparation for a complex. It will be more steps will be there, more data points will be there. In this simple diagram, we have completed this process in 10 boxes. But in the industry, if you go, the process will have more boxes, more uh, uh, you can decision points will be there. So we'll have more data on that. So when you are doing the tracking for each input step, we follow this template. That is raw material, water. What are the water? How water will affect your tea? Quantity of water, water quality, pure water or water is smell will have effect on tea. Then what is the milk? Quantity of milk, cow milk hai, butter milk hai, powder milk hai, malai wala milk hai. So it will have a different effect on the tea quality. Sugar also quantity, thick sugar hai, thin sugar, sugar cube hai, sugar powder hai. Then tea, various brands are there. Tata ka tea अच्छा है, Taj Mahal है, Brook Bond है, black tea, green tea, granular tea है, dust tea है. So these are the parameters that are affecting tea quality. So you have to collect data for each parameter. When you say water, then you quantity of water कितना कितने लिया, 2 cups, 3 cup, 1 cup. Water का quality क्या था? 30 days में 10 days water quality खराब था. That you have to come out when you find the data. Milk कौन सा लिया? किसी ने काउ का मिल्क यूज किया तो आपका टी का टेस्ट चेंज हो गया, इसलिए उस दिन वो कस्टमर बोला कि टी बराबर नहीं है. Somebody using powder milk, तो कस्टमर बोला ये टी बराबर नहीं है. That you have to find out over a period of time of 3 months. What is the parameter that are affecting your tea quality? And data points are the data points that you have to monitor. Now collect, then analyze these data points. On which day, which combination was right for the customer. So quantity of water का combination है, शुगर कितना है, क्वालिटी ऑफ शुगर क्या है, मिल्क का क्वालिटी क्या है, टी पाउडर कैसा है, द राइट कॉम्बिनेशन कौन सा था, जिस दिन था, देन आइडेंटिफाई द डेज इन व्हिच द कस्टमर वाज हैप्पी एंड फाइंड आउट व्हाट आर द कॉम्बिनेशन यूज्ड देयर एंड देन गो फॉर इंप्रूवमेंट. दैट इज हाउ द प्रोजेक्ट इज डन. ऑल मोर इक्विपमेंट कैन से यूटेंसिल्स कौन सा है, एल्यूमिनियम का है, कॉपर का है, हीटिंग डिवाइस क्या है, गैस बर्नर है, केरोसिन स्टोव है. द टी क्वालिटी विल चेंज. If you have ever witnessed that there will be a different tea quality when you use different type of filtering device. Filter size क्या है, powder जा रहा है क्या? When you are filtering the tea, if the filter size pores are big, then the powder also falls in the tea, and the customer क्या है इसमें डाला है powder, so he rejects the tea. That is also one of the you can say parameter. And how it is done, how much time you boil. So we can see that data points in this process is the process. Data points क्या क्या है? Water में you have 4 points. Sugar, so water is one data point. Sugar is one data point. Milk, tea, utensils, heating device, filter, and the process followed. The data point which are to be, data points that are to be data is collected on these points over a period of 90 days. Find out on what day the tea was good, what day it was bad, what day it was average, what day, and then you get a big picture and try to track कि जो good days थे उसमें combination क्या था, SOP क्या था, utensil कौन सा था. Then you get some combination wherein to 1 tablespoon of thick sugar, 1 tablespoon of Taj Mahal tea, buffalo milk, copper utensil, 10 minutes boiling. Is the combination where the customer is good? Okay, this is the combination. Then let us try this combination every day. And what are the you can say drawbacks of combination? Are you increasing the cost? Are you increasing the time? That you have to analyze. That we do in analyze phase. That is the analyze phase. Data collection is the major phase, and analyze phase you analyze all these things, and then get the right combination where the person will be happy with your tea. That combination is then deployed for a specific period, say 8 days, 10 days in improve phase. And if you say that in all 10 days the customer is happy, that means your combination is right. Then that combination is documented and given to the owner to deploy it for the lifetime. That is the control phase. So in a simple process of tea making, you can do a project. So you can think there are complex projects, complex processes working in our industry. Complex, you can say data points are available. So the project is done that way. The next is a matrix flow diagram or swim lane. The flow diagram can be made in different types. That is a swim lane diagram. That is where you say user, purchaser, manufacturer, stores, and inspection. The user is indenting a thing. I want to purchase in industry. I want to purchase, let us say, a laptop. So I raise a requisition in the system saying that in my department we have 5 people working, so we have to provide laptops to 5 people. So I need for 5 laptops. And go to the purchase department. They will find a quotation. Then you for quote HP ka laptop, how much money is costing. Then Lenovo is there. Then Dell is there. Different manufacturers are there for providing laptop. So they will do the analysis. What is the requirement of the user? How much RAM he wants, how much storage he wants, touch screen chahiye, nahi chahiye, Windows 10 chahiye. All these things you provide to the purchaser. Then you will try to find out the best fit laptop. That will be low cost also and meeting almost all your demands. Some demand may not be met. So we will try to convince you. Sir, ये ऐसा मत ले लो. आपको 500 GB चाहिए हमारा. अभी 300 GB का मिल रहा है, थोड़ा पैसा कम हो रहा है तो वो ले लो. That you will try to fit in, or you will try to negotiate with the customer, with the supplier. Then that अरे आप same cost में you give 500 GB, 500 GB का दे दो. We are giving you 10 order of 10 laptops or 5 laptops. So it will be a big deal. So we will try to negotiate. That is the purchaser job. Then the material ordered. Then the material manufactured by the manufacturer. The Dell has, Siemens, ये आपका HP है, Lenovo है. Then it is issued in the store. The store person will then inform the user. Then that inspect करो आपके material कि आपको required वैसा material है क्या. Then somebody will go and see laptop condition कैसा है, आज not damage नहीं है ना, screen बराबर है ना. Then what is the required specs में है ना. जैसे RAM is proper, then your storage capacity is proper, whatever hard disk you wanted, camera चाहिए तो camera is working. All these things in inspection. And then when it is approved by the inspection person, it will go to the user and was submitted. This is a simple block diagram. But if you go in detail, in quotation, there will be a lot of steps. Indenting laptops, there will be a lot of steps. That is, write specification, prepare the specification, write on the paper, take approval of the manager, then put in system. So in quotation, then take quotation from 3 vendors, analyze the quotation, then review it with your bosses or with somebody, then put the order. A manufacturer will prepare the laptop and go to stores. On the in stores, inspect physically, laptop is proper, charger उसके साथ आया है कि नहीं, mouse है कि नहीं, whatever is there. Then inspection will come and see. You have a checklist. You will check 10 items and then give to the user. So this is a map which is at a higher level. But if you go in detail mapping, you will find that there are 40 steps in this map. So when we are doing a project, we have to first prepare this map, high level. And then for each box, you go down what are the steps and then prepare a detailed map. That is the detailed map that we prepared here. The detailed map. And this is the high level map. So you can see flow diagram for organizing meeting. If you ever think that a meeting organize करो ऐसा किसी ने बोल दिया, what are the steps done actually for the meeting are 25. Okay, but somebody on a call says meeting organize karo and the meeting organized. And actually, if you start, say, let us say how the meeting is organized, you write the process for the meeting organization. You will start need to call a meeting. What is the need? Okay, who has asked for the meeting? Identify purpose objective. So a person come in there, what will they do? What will they discuss? Then decide participants based on the objective. The objective of the meeting ka hai to review a process or review a cost process. So you need a person from finance, you need a person from process, you need a person from technical side. So who are the people who are going to participate in the process? Then issue an agenda. You have to write the agenda. On agenda, what you write? Name of the person participating. X, Y, Z will participate. A, B, C will be there. And what are the data? What are the points that will be discussed? Process. If you are organizing a meeting for your project, and you are the owner, so you will write the agenda. What are we going to discuss today? Prepare high-level process map. Prepare detailed process map. Compare documented process versus actual process. These are the agenda. Then you will send it to participants, saying that we are going to have a meeting on this date from this time to this time. Following are the points going to discuss. So please join the meeting. So required information furnished. Somebody will check it. ना आपने बनाया तो you will show to champion. Sir ये मैं करने वाला हूँ. अरे ये नहीं चाहिए. आपने को ये भी चाहिए. So you will again review the agenda and revise the agenda. And then if it is okay, then you will identify the persons attending or running. we'll send the meeting invite, then somebody will say, अरे मेरा दूसरा meeting है, मैंने आने वाला हूँ. Or somebody will say, you can shift the meeting from 4 to 5 उस जगह 2 से 3 रखो, मेरे को जाने का जल्दी आज ऑफिस से घर जाने का है 3 बजे. So we will again discuss with everybody and try to find that maximum persons are available at what time. That time you will schedule the meeting. Then on the meeting day, so let us say after Saturday, you are scheduling the meeting for Wednesday. So you will again remind the person on Monday or Tuesday that अरे कल meeting है अपना कल meeting है. It is a reminder you are sending. Or sometimes आजकल तो when you schedule the meeting in the Teams or your MS Office, reminder pops up on your screen. So that is now automated, but somebody has to do it in the, if you automation नहीं है तो somebody has to remind them. Then check for the facilities. जहाँ मीटिंग होने वाला है रूम बराबर है ना, एसी चल रहा है वहाँ पे, प्रोजेक्टर इज अवेलेबल, then the number of chairs are in actual required and उससे number available है ना, in order है कि नहीं. If it is not in order, then call the sweeper or the facility person. अरे इधर 2 चेयर कम है, एक टूटा हुआ है चेयर, प्रोजेक्टर काम नहीं कर रहा है, रिमोट नहीं है, अरे एसी बंद है, जो भी है, what are the problems, then you have to find and get it clean and then make that venue available and ready for the meeting place. Then when you are the owner, so you attend, you reach the meeting place 5 minutes in advance and check everything again. Then again check with the canteen or pantry. वो कुछ अगर मीटिंग आपका चलने वाला है 3-4 घंटा तो people require water, तो water is available. टी कॉफी का क्या arrangements है, और you are going to provide some snacks or biscuit during the meeting. What is the arrangements there? And then you give the order to the pantry that अरे हमारे मीटिंग में आज 15 लोग हैं, so please arrange the tea at this time, or please water, biscuits दे दो, जो भी है. And then when we must start, members will start coming. Some will come on time, some will come in between, some will not come. After confirmation also some people don't attend. So keep record of which members participating, कौन कौन available है, कौन नहीं है, and keep a attendance for same. Then ask somebody to involve in the meeting to write the notes, because you will be facilitating the meeting, so you will not be able to write the notes or MOM. So please ask somebody to volunteer for it. Then involve everybody in the meeting. Some people will be playing on mobile, some people will be staring here and there. So please ask everyone to participate. Then ask someone to write the agenda. Close meeting on time. Okay. Once agenda is, do the meeting of agenda 1, 2, 3 जो भी points आपने लिखे. Then take notes for every agenda and close the meeting on time, and also discuss what are the next steps and when will we meeting again. Say we are meeting on today on जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना कि आज 16, आज we today discuss the refine phase, so when we will do the major phase, that we decide, and then I will tell Himanshu अरे वो कल करते हैं उसका major phase का program, या फिर कल नहीं करते, next Friday करते हैं. So that you have decided in the closing meeting. Then identify the work to be done. Meeting में कुछ you have find out some action items that Aashish will take data for these items, Manish will take data for these items, or Himanshu will coordinate for next meeting. What are there? So write down the MOM in which you write the steps of what is decided, what was discussed, what are the action items, who will do it, by which date will do it. Then follow up for the follow-up actions will be taken by whom. Once the meeting is closed, then you come do follow-up actions and then enter the data in the computer, what is there, what is not there. Circulate the results of the meeting, that we call MOM, minutes of meeting, to everybody, and then find out if they are working and follow up with them that they are doing the job as discussed, so that we are on the same page. And then prepare for the next meeting. Once you are ready for the next meeting, then again follow from the start. So if you all are able to see this page, how much 25 steps are taken in a meeting, organizing a meeting. But in reality, if you write down the steps, you get to know. But when we discuss, we only say, "Are meeting arrange karo," and the meeting is arranged. But what are the activities that are going in background to arrange a meeting? We never visualize this. So in Six Sigma, when you do process mapping, please write each and every step done, so that we are able to find out what is non-valued activity here. So non-valued activity, now reminding in the day of meeting, the activity was non-valued. Now it has come in computer, so no need to remind. The pop-up comes up saying that you are meeting at this time. Check the facilities of housing or meeting room. Nowadays, The housekeeping people are doing jobs to keep the meeting room ready for next meeting once the first meeting is done. So these activities are now over a period of time have been smoothened up or been dropped now or been handed over to some other person. But the original meetings or the meetings which are done in past had this much activity to be done by the person who organized the meeting. So this is the process flow diagram. So we have seen business level flow or unit level, and now the real detailed flow diagram how it is done in the process mapping. So at this we come to end of this session of define. So we have completed define phase session today. So any questions we can discuss now. We have got around 15 minutes to go.
Sir, I have a question regarding process mapping.
Yeah.
I have a question regarding process mapping. Can you share the
please.
screen?
Which slide you want?
So the process mapping slide, the actual process versus documented process, that part.
Okay, 1 minute.